Hi everyone. Today I'm going to be talking about self-esteem, ways to boost self-esteem, and basically just ways to be better to yourself. This was a question that I did have from a viewer, and it's a good question for all people, not just people who are struggling with mental health issues. Basically, this viewer was explaining that they're depressed and they are thinking a lot about things that they wish they had and don't, and know that it's not a good thing to do but can't help themselves. And, talking about not having a relationship, not having a job, not having friends, and just not knowing what to do with all of those things that are going on in their life. They write that it's gotten to the point where they don't want to go outside anymore because they're nervous about what neighbors might think of them when, they're home and feeling like they should be at work and never having friends over. And I guess basically just the fear of being judged. And this viewer writes that they want to get happy. And I think that that's a very interesting statement, so I'll talk a little bit more about that. But this person is telling me that they're trying my cell phone trick I've talked about before, to tell them that they're a good person. And the problem is that their self-esteem is so low, especially under all of these situational circumstances, that nothing seems to be helping. This person wants friends and a significant other and a job like everyone else who would want all of those things. So the question really became, what can you do to feel better about yourself? And I think that there are several things. I want to quickly address the concept of getting happy. It's something that everyone basically wants. We all want to get happy, but you can't just get happy like you can get a job or get a girlfriend. You can't get happy. It's not even so much a lot of work to become happy. It's not necessarily luck if you end up being happy. All of those things can play a part in feeling happy, but what it really comes down to, I think, is attitude and figuring out what you want, figuring out who you are, accepting the things that you can't change, and working on molding your reality to be something that you like and can live with and enjoy, while at the same time being able to deal with any of the bad that comes your way. I did a video regarding self-esteem back in the past, quite some time ago, so I will post the link to that. And I also did a video in regards to comparing yourself to others, so I will post the link to that as well. And I did do a video about loneliness in the past, so I'll post the link to that as it applies. I will put any other links that might apply to this topic in the info section of the box of this video. But back to self-esteem and being nicer to yourself. Sometimes I think that being nice to yourself is one of the hardest tasks to accomplish because a lot of people are so good at being nice to others, and oftentimes it's the people that are so kind to others who find it so hard to be kind to themselves. And it is very much so something that has to be worked at. But I would say start small. Being nicer to yourself, fill your brain with positivity. And you can do this in a number of ways. Any way that feels comfortable to you, any way that's easy and accessible to you. I obviously talked about the cell phone trick. This viewer already does that, so I won't get into that. I talk about that in numerous videos because I think it's a good idea. But things like even putting Post-its for yourself up on places that you will look at frequently, whether it's on your bathroom mirror or on your computer screen, on your desk, on your refrigerator door, anywhere that you're going to see it on a regular basis. And it can be something as simple as, you can get through this. It doesn't have to be a Post-it telling you how wonderful you are or how beautiful you are. Those Post-its have their place as well, but it can just be something like, you'll be okay, or today is what you make it. Anything inspirational or goal related, something that can make you feel better about yourself, because every time that you're kind to yourself, you're going to automatically be building up that self-esteem. And even if that kindness is just a few words on a post-it that you're writing to yourself that you'll see, it can't hurt. The point is that it can't hurt. It's not going to help right away. I mean, writing yourself a post-it isn't going to change all of the circumstances in your life. It's not going to automatically make you happy or love yourself more, but it definitely can't hurt. And if you keep it up, it will start to help. This is called positive reinforcement, and I did a video a while back about positive reinforcement, so I will post the link to that. Another idea I have to build your self-esteem and be nice to yourself is to write down any nice thing that someone either has said about you in the past or says about you, and keep it sort of as a log. So anyone that you might come in contact with, whether it's in person, by phone, through email, on the internet, even if it's someone in passing, you go to the grocery store or you go to the mall and someone says, "I like your shoes," that is a positive thing. It's very small, it may be very insignificant, but it's something positive that was said to you. And by keeping a log of this, you are reinforcing that there are things to like about you. Someone's noticing you in a good way and not in a bad way. So you want to write down any nice thing that someone says about you. In your notebook, in your journal, you can keep a separate little log just for this. But what this does is it helps you to focus on the good instead of the bad. And that's really what this is. It's sort of, it's a lesson. It's sort of re-education to get you to focus on the positives instead of the negatives. So if you're hung up on what people are thinking about you negatively, whether it be family, friends, neighbors, when someone says something positive to you, however small, you want to keep track of it so that you can go back to that later, especially when you are feeling very bad, and see, look, all these things were said about me this month. And I think that that does help as well. You have nothing to lose. Another suggestion I have is to think of the child that you used to be. And the reason I say this is because it's a lot easier to be kind to a child than it is to be kind to an adult. And it's a lot harder to be mean to a child than it is to be to yourself. And if you think of this child as you, because you were a child once, then it really does help. You can go as far as to find an old photograph of when you were a child and keep that pinned to your journal, or keep that in a drawer in your desk so you can look at it. And when you're having really bad moments, when you're feeling really sorry for yourself and really bad and really lonely, even really judged, you can pull out that photo and you can look at that person that you used to be, that child, and just think, there's no way that I can be mean to this person, this innocent kid. And it's really a lesson in treating yourself well. Sometimes we think about our lives and we look at ourselves in the mirror, and it's not hard at all to say negative things. But if we're looking in the eyes of a kid and we know that that kid is us, it's hard to say mean things to ourselves when we have them in the back of our mind. And if you don't have a photo of yourself as a child, it doesn't matter. The point is to go back in your memory, go back in your mind to that point when you were a child, and just remember that you're just trying to do right by yourself. And it's really hard some days, but if you remember what you want to achieve and that you are important, and that the only way to stop feeling so bad is to start being kind to yourself, it's going to stick. Having a job or a better relationship or a lot of friends can make you feel happier. I won't deny that. And it can help with your mood or your depression. But if you're not happy with yourself to begin with, having all those things really won't make you happy with yourself. It's not about what you have. It's easy to get hung up on what you don't have when you're feeling that way and all of those things are lacking in your life. But once you do have them, in retrospect, you can see that you're really no happier. And I don't want you to get to that point when you keep acquiring all these things purely for the purpose of making you happy and it doesn't work. I did a video in the past about embracing what you do have. The video is called Appreciating What You Do Have. And it's again about changing your focus. Instead of focusing on what you don't have, you're focusing on what you do and you're embracing it. I did a video once about finding your positive traits, which I'll post the link to. And I hope that you can find these suggestions helpful. And I really do hope that you'll check out the older videos because all of them have a lot of tidbits that are really good when put into practice. Hope you have a great day.